Shall we start our program?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, dear participant, good morning to all of you. Good morning to all of you. We welcome for our last and final, that is the third day of our webinar. So today we are going to see that topic, that morning session. We have two speakers today morning. One is quality assurance and certification in organic farming. Organic farming becoming more popular in Northeast because every product now, if you see that many of the product or particularly ginger, most of them are grown in zoom cultivation in Northeast, and in virgin soil they used to cultivate. And you see that most of the farmers, they never even sometime apply any kind of inorganic fertilizer and any other thing. So it is grown naturally in the forest area. So I think the quality and other aspects of spices in Northeast is much more valued, and it's a free from, some of them are free from chemical. And in this region, so you must know how to get this certification in organic farming. We will be explaining more about it. So dear participant, it's a good opportunity because it's a need, because the organic product values and other is fetching more price in the market. So in terms of health point of view, it is also becoming more important. So on these aspects, Mr. Astos Gautam, scientist to be ICRI, RRS Spice Code, Tardan, he will be speaking on this. So now I'll hand over the time to Mr. Astos. Yeah, please, you can start.
Thank you so much, sir. So, good morning to all the participants and organizers. And today, as discussed about, sir, we will be discussing about quality assurance and organic certification. So, let's start. Slides are visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, sir. So, as of now, we have discussed so many other topics like prospects of organic farming in Northeast, then quality control in post-harvest management and all these things. So now we are coming to that our final session of this organic section. So today we'll be talking about, I will have a brief information about organic products. That means what exactly we call organic and how we can simply define it, that product is particularly organic or something else. Then what is the quality standards for organic products or organic production system in India. Then finally, how to get a certificate for our products and how we can claim nationally, regionally or globally that our product is organic. So let's start with our agriculture. That organic products include not only food and all this, but it also includes other allied products like milk, whether it's butter or any other thing, juice, etc. So how we can define whether it is whatever is coming in our platter or whatever is offered to us, whether it is organic or something else, or whether we are getting fooled in the name of organic. So that is the first and foremost thing we have to decide and we have to get on. So let's go on simple definition for organic products. Anything which is produced by plants and does not include any extraneous thing is organic. And the second thing, it should not be manufactured in plants. There are two plants. First one, the plant we know that it comes naturally. The second plant mean to factory or some manufacturing unit. So there's the difference between two things. that it should be produced by plant, means it should directly come from plant, naturally come from a plant, but it should not be manufactured. There are terminological difference, and that's the clear and major definition of that organic farming, what I perceive, that it should be produced, not should be manufactured. And of course, our organic food comes from organic agriculture, and there are a couple of components of organic agriculture or organic farming, which include vermicompost. Of course, it comes naturally by the virtue of some mechanism from the earthworms. Then for nutrition and all this, we have green leaf manuring. Then for soil fertility and nutrition status management and other things, we have crop rotation system. Then to come over disease and pest, we have biological management system. Then for enrichment of the microbial strata of soil, we have some animal husbandry system. We are using this cow dung, cow urine, then cow dung compost and all this. Then comes the biofertilizers. Biofertilizers means coming either, like you might have heard about azolla and all this thing. So those all coming naturally. Then manures. Manures means those are coming from our farmyards and since made naturally only. So you can see in all these components, nothing is coming from outside. Whatever we produce in the farm, that is used in the farm. So this whole system is natural and within the farm and for the farm. So that's it's complete and complement our definition that anything which should be produced by the plants and not synthesized or manufactured in the plant. So let's have a brief about prospects of organic products in India. So the first thing, all those products are health conscious. That means there is no chemical additives there, no chemical preservatives there. So they don't have any side effect or hazardous or regressive health effect on us. Then they face premium price. So I will just like to give an example. If you take the case of Sikkim, here there are two kinds of kiwis, one coming from Kolkata, other coming from Arunachal Pradesh. The Kolkata kiwi will fetch you price 120 rupees for a box of 3 pieces, but that coming from Arunachal Pradesh, it will cost you some 250 rupees for that same number of pieces and same weight. So you can see almost double of the price you are getting. Then export demand. There is huge demand for organic products, especially in the European Union and Americas, because those people are rich and they are more health conscious to us. Everything or every option comes along with our pocket. Whatever health conscious or anything we are there. But if we don't have capacity to buy, then it has no meaning. But that is not the case with European Union. They all are developed countries and Americas. So they can offer any price to you for getting a better product or a healthy product. So organic products from India have huge demand across the globe. Then synergy with nature. As we discussed in first 2 slides, we are not taking anything from factories or manufacturing units. Everything we are using, we are taking from the nature, and at the end of the day, we are submitting to the nature. So it's just a natural cycle. So we are not altering anything or we are not playing with that balance of nature. Okay. So in first 2 days, you have already get acquainted with what is the organic farming and its prospects in Northeast region. Then you have also get acquainted with how to plan for organic farming, how you should go, how is the conversion from conventional farming or other farming system to organic farming, including IPM and all these things you have already gone through by the various scientists presented before me. Then you have also came to know about how is the procurement process and supply chain for that organic system, organic product, how you can get the market and how you should proceed in the marketing system, how you can penetrate in a particular market and what the standards you should follow and all this. Then yesterday we discussed about post-harvest quality control and that product development. So after all this, you have got some organic farming system, you have followed everything, all the standards. But after that, you have to go for post-harvest management to sustain the quality of your organic product. It should not be mingled with other products like that. So these all things you have discussed, and you also have got to know about how we can make some handy products or home products from our farm. This thing products, how you can get some ginger oil, this ginger candy, and all this we have discussed yesterday. So I think now you are very well ready to know about or to go through the organic certification and what it is used, what is significance, and what exactly it brought to you. So there are some particular standards for organic products, and you have to follow that standards if you want to claim yourself or your product that it is particularly organic. So there are different kinds of standards. It may be regional, it may be national, it may be international. So for example, if you are a farmer from Sikkim, or if you are a farmer from Nagaland, but you want to sell your product to Sikkim, then you have to follow the standards set by the Sikkim for organic agriculture and all this. They may little bit vary from regional, national, international, but core of the part will be same. So you have to go through the standards set by the Biodiversity Board and our mission, Sikkim Organic Mission System. For that standards of organic farming in the region, you have to follow it, and you have to go through all the protocols, and after that you will get a Sikkim Organic logo. That logo ensure that you are a certified organic producer and your product can be sold in Sikkim. Next, coming to national level, that same is the issue, that you are farmer from any of the state of India or from any place, and you claim that your product is particularly organic. There is no synthetic or chemical derivative and all this. It is free from all the kinds of pesticide and everything. And you want a premium price and you want to sell it in some organic markets in India. For that, you will be requiring that Organic India logo or some other certificates which are issued under the umbrella of NPOP. There are different kinds of accrediting agency and certifying agency. So you have to go to all the national protocols and national standards. You have to follow those. And once you satisfy all those criteria, you will get a logo as well as certificate. So that logo you will paste upon your baggage, packing and all this. So it will clearly identify that your product is eligible to sell in any of the organic market in India. Then next is international standard. The logo you are seeing, it is for European Union. So suppose that you are eligible to sell your products all over the India in form of organic, or it is meeting all the criteria, but it does not necessarily meet the international standards also. Europe, Africa's and America's, they have different kinds of standards. They little bit vary in something. So suppose that if you are interested to sell your products in the countries of European Union, then you have to follow their own standards. So all these are some basic things there behind that organic products and their marketing. So I shall discuss about major NPOP standards for agro products. Though there are more than 150 recommendation and all these things, or more than that for organic products and organic practices in India, but I will be here discussing only major ones. So the first one is, whatever is the raw material that you are using for your organic product. For example, you are making ginger pickle. So all the ingredients, right from your oil and anything other additives, your chili, your salt and everything, this all should be from organic sources. Salt, for example, it should not be processed with, or it should not be fined with other chemical, so to bring it in a present form. So anything you get, whether it is your ginger, whether it is oil or anything, so all should come from a organic production farm or organic system. There should not be any interference of chemical system or anything. Then second point, any handling and process of organic product should be optimized to maintain the quality and integrity of the product and directed toward minimizing the development of pest and disease. So let's see, for example, you had prepared a fruit jam, mixed fruit jam. You have got all the organic products. for different fruits and all this, and whatever is permitted, or suppose that citric acid and all this you have used. But you should ensure that its quality and integrity. Quality in the sense, whatever is the jam available, fruit jam available in the market, your product should match that standard in the taste, in the quality, in shelf life, and all this, as well as its stability. That means it should not invite any development of, for example, molds growth and all this, or fungal growth in due course of time. So your product should be stable. Your product should match the quality standard of existing product in the market, and it should means penetrate well. Then pollution sources shall be identified and contamination should be avoided. So here the simple thing is that when you take anything that is chemically treated, it is more tolerant to the contamination. But if you take all the things in chemical organic system, there are chances that is prone to contamination. So while processing, while transporting, or while manufacturing all these things, you should be very clear idea about what are the pollutant. Pollutant does not necessarily means that some anything the chemical is there and all this. Anything, for example, even a dust particle is also considered as a pollutant. So you should be very careful about all those things, and all this contamination, everything should be avoided to sustain quality and shelf life. Then flavoring extract shall be obtained from food by means of physical process. So for example, you have extracted some mint oil from organic mint. So it should be from that kind of mint which you can use for that consumption, means it should be of food quality and from the organic system only. It should not be like that, that you are using some inferior quality of mint for the extraction of oil. The quality should be food system or food standard quality. So let's move to next. Then organic products shall be protected from co-mingling with non-organic products. See, here in India, there is no hard and fast restriction that you cannot grow organic product and non-organic product in the same hectare of your field. You can very well go organic as well as non-organic products, but you should be very careful in none of your stages of practices like collection, harvesting, or processing, or packing, or anything. Organic should mingle with non-organic. Okay, so there should be clear-cut differentiation and clear-cut avoidance of co-mingling of both the products. Then recommended for decontamination, cleaning, or disinfections of all facility where organic products are kept, handled, processed, or stored. So yesterday also we discussed about like for some packaging or baggaging, we are using many kinds of these things items. For example, our corrugated fiber box, we are using CFB boxes. Then many bags we are using. Then in some cases we are using wooden crates also. So including all those things, and including your room where you are processing these things or where you are storing these things, as well as your handling, for example your hands when you are picking all these things. So those all should be disinfected and well cleaned and decontaminated. For example, yesterday we talked about gunny bag. In some cases people disinfected with either with our extract of tobacco, a tobacco extract, water extract, or extract from the neem. So those are some kind of indigenous traditional knowledge people used to do. Then beside storage at ambient temperature, cooling, freezing, drying, and humidity regulations are permitted in organic system. So you can store your fruit at store your fruit or fruit jam or any other organic product based upon its quality or its nature of stability at cooling temperature. You can freeze it, you can dry it, and you can regulate the humidity. As yesterday we have seen that we are going for to the drying for that our paper, green black paper, and then bottled black paper, all this thing. So these things are permitted, provided there should not be artificial chemical induction. So you should always avoid to induce any chemical thing in your product. Then most important things, ethylene gas is permitted for ripening. So for example, you have produced banana in organic system. You have followed all the protocols. You have gone through everything that is mentioned for that maintaining that organic standards, and you got your bumper yield or bumper crop of banana. Now, if you want to sell it immediately, then it will not mature in due course of time. It will take its own course. So in that case, you can use ethylene gas for that quick ripening. So that is permitted in organic system. Then pests should be avoided by standard recommended practices such as physical barrier, sound, and all these things. So here you should be very clear that you should not apply any pesticide at any stage. Pesticide means synthetic pesticide at any stage of your processing, storage, or on other farming practices or processing practices. You should use physical barrier. Physical barrier means placing some doors or windows, or you closing your doors, or placing some cabinets, and there you can store your products. So you can use that kind of physical barrier. So pests like rodents and anything should not enter in that particular room. Then sound means some kind of moths and some kinds of insects. They are very sensitive to a particular level of sound. So in some system you can use humming sound, that some hummers used to come, hummer sound making instrument used to come. You have to just plug on it and switch on, and it will make particular sound of some particular level, so it will destroy the insect or their larvae or their eggs, like that. Then you can use light means some particularly insect. For example, just you say our cockroach, it is aversive to the light, so those things you can make it. And then uv light means ultraviolet light. You very well know it is hazardous to skin, to even human being. Then it is definitely hazardous to smaller organism like insect and all this thing. So those means you can use for the pest control in the storage system. Then 100% of the ingredients of agriculture origin shall be certified organic, as we discussed earlier in previous slides, that all your constituents or all your ingredients for a particular product, organic product, say your lemon juice, so that should come from organically certified sources only. It should not be like that you took lemon from some organic certified agency or organic certified farmers, but other additives, for example mint, for addition in that juice you have taken from some organic or chemically synthesized form and all this. So these things should be avoided. Everything should be organic only. Then nutritional quality should be remained intact. Whatever is the nutrition quality of non-organic product, that same quality or similar quality should be of your organic product. It should not be like that. For example, if milk, for example, you take milk is also organic only. You can very well produce organic milk, but that is some cumbersome process. So let's take another example. For example, just you take some juice or some fruit jam. Whatever the quality or whatever, suppose that amino acid, vitamins, and all this protein content and protein level, whatever is available in inorganic juice or jam, that same or similar quantity should be in your organic juice and jam. Then it will be permitted, and then only it can penetrate the market. Then there should no additives of addition of minerals, vitamins, and similar isolated ingredients from outside. You should maintain integrity of your product. You should not include anything from outside just to increase the level of nutrition. Then packing should be in recommended material. As we discussed, it should be either CFB boxes or wooden boxes, like that. So we should not use any non-recommended thing. Or yesterday also we discussed, we should minimize the use of plastics and polythenes. Then coming to the standards set by NPOP for the processing of agricultural products. So the first thing, processing method should be based on mechanized, physical, and biological process. Here you can see there are three processes: mechanical process, physical process, and biological process. clearly there is no chemical process. Many food processing, these things include chemical process, but in organic system, you should 100% exclude chemical process at any stage. Then the vital quality of organic ingredients shall be maintained throughout each step of its processing. That means, suppose that you are intended to make ginger pickle. Okay. So whatever is the level of vitamins or proteins or amino acid in your initial raw material of ginger for starting the process, it should maintain its level of nutrition or its level of amino acid and vitamins, everything till the end of process, till the final product is received, till the final product is processed. So that should be followed. Then processing methods shall be chosen to limit the number and quantity of additive and processing aids. This is one of the most important thing while going for the organic food processing or making some organic products. We should be very careful that number of additive means even if it is organic, we should limit its quantity as much as possible. Then number of processing aids means whatever the apparatus and all this thing you are using, that should be minimized. What is the reason behind that? That more the chances of these additives or processing aids, more will be the chances of contamination. So to avoid all these things, we should means minimize the quantity and types of additive and processing aids. Then coming to the extraction. Extraction means yesterday just I gave an example of this ginger oil. So that extraction, if we are going conventional, yesterday we discussed about only in conventional way, but suppose that if you are going in commercial way, then only water, ethanol, plant and animal oil, vinegar, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and carboxylic acids are only permitted things which can be used for extraction of a particular essential oil or particular oleoresin or anything. So here you can say all other things are almost in their organic way only. Only this carbon dioxide, nitrogen and carboxylic acids, these are some different things here. So we have to use only these items here. Then these shall be of food grade quality appropriate for the purpose. Any additive or anything you are using for the processing of your food product in organic system, there should be a food grade quality. Food grade quality means which is eligible to consume. It should not be like that it is not fit to consume for yourself. It is just you are throwing to the kettles and all this, but in the other side you are using for that processing of your food, you are including that same thing in your processing. So that should not be there. Then the most important thing is irradiation is not allowed. Irradiation means any kind of this radiation, for example X-ray or high intensity UV ray, those should not be allowed during the processing. I will just give you an example. There is very big dairy in Delhi. You might have heard about that, Mother Dairy. So they means accumulate or collect water in very huge quantity. And of course, when we are at home, we used to just boil the milk for that prolonging its shelf life, for maintaining its quality to avoid the storage spoilage. But do you think it is possible will be that 30,000 liter of tank that they can boil and all this? They don't do like that. They simply put couple of UV rods for a certain time, and this whatever the milk inside there, that will be disinfected, it will be decontaminated, all the microbes which are hazardous to that milk and which can spoil the milk will be eradicated, or simply they will be killed. So that is some kind of irradiation we are using, but same is not permitted or possible in organic food processing. Now let's come to the packaging. Packaging material that affect the organic nature of content should be avoided. Anything which can result in sweeting of organic product or which can induce the mold growth in that organic product and all this, those should be avoided. We should not use those. Then use of PVC material is prohibited. In any case, wish that use of PVC material for packaging, baggaging, and all this should be avoided. It should be not used for that purpose. Then laminates and aluminium should be avoided. We have seen that very frequently people use, for example, if you take some takeaway from restaurant. So if you take something from restaurant, what they will do, they will just simply take aluminum foil. They will wrap your chapati and all this thing. They will wrap your, if you have some, for example, paneer or dry paneer, everything, they will wrap in that. They will put in box and give you. But it is not applicable in the organic system, that you wrap your, suppose that kiwi, or you wrap your apple in aluminum foil, so for transporting or for storage. So that is not very much this possible in our organic processing system. Then recycling and reusable systems shall be used wherever possible. The concept of this point is simply that we should go in the synergy with of nature. We should use minimum things from nature. We should have minimum interference with nature, so that the balance should be there, and it is also economical only. Anything that can be recycled, for example, if you take gunny bag, if you can use it multiple times, that it will reduce your cost for that gunny bags in every transport time. So that is the concept here. Then biodegradable packaging materials shall be used. Anything that we are using in a packaging and all these things, that should be biodegradable, means in due course of time it should be degraded by its own. It should not be like that, for example, say plastic bottle. If you keep a plastic bottle, it may take some 500 to 600 years to degrade, and that is also we're not very sure that after that time it will degrade. So it will be, means interfering with the nature. It will be spoiling the natural system for a longer time. So we should avoid those kind of material for packaging and all this thing. So this has been about that organic standards in agriculture, then organic productions, organic processing in agriculture system, organic food products under the NPOP guidelines. So this all has been there. So now you are ready with your organic farming system, you are ready with your post-harvest system, you are ready with your quality control, and you are already you are ready with whatever is the protocols and organic system standards, or this national, international, and all this. Now comes that you want to sell your produce. So how and how you can claim that your product is organic and all this. So anything in India that is following organic, it comes under the umbrella of NPOP. So NPOP is our core umbrella from where these guidelines or protocols or notification or anything, or means accreditation, inspection, policies, everything comes from the NPOP only. And all the accrediting agency existing in India for organic system, they are managed by, or they are adhered with the protocols or standards of NPOP only. So let's proceed how it works. So for example, you had went to some 10 crates of your kiwi or your apple in the market. One side, people are getting 110 rupees per kg for that apple, but your apple is claiming some price of 250 rupees or 300 rupees. When someone asks about why is the price difference and all this, you simply claim my apple is organic. Then the first question will come, how you can claim? How I can be sure that your product is your apple is organic? Then at that time you have to show the certificate. But the thing is, where you really need the certificate, or you just want the certificate. So just I would like to share here that selling anything in India in the different name or in the different poster or in different disguise, it is a criminal offense. For example, if you sell your chemical processed product in the name of organic, it is a punishable offense, and you can be behind the bar for that. So if you are claiming that your product is organic, then you really need the certificate. It is not some kind of luxury or side material that you just have it and all this. So you really need this. And once you have certificate, either you can place in your stall, or you can just put what we call our that logo. That logo will be pasted in your product, so that will ensure that your product is organic. So what are the significance of organic certificates? So the first thing, organic certification addresses a growing worldwide demand for organic fruit. For example, I will say, just say that there are only some 10 organic certified farmers or 10 organic certified agencies in Assam. That will define that in Assam, that demand of organic food and all this thing is very less, because if it was in high demand, people would have gone for more organic production, and there has been more application for that organic certification. And other hand, if you say in Sikkim there are 110 organic certified farmers or agencies like that, that means the people of Sikkim demands that organic products in more aggressive way. There is high demand. That's why the number of suppliers are more. So this is one key importance of that organic certification. It reflects how much demand is for that organic produces or organic food like that. The other thing, it intends to assure quality and prevent fraud and to promote commerce. As I discussed in previous slide, once you have organic certificate, then you can paste your logo on your product or packages. Then just by seeing that logo only, just by seeing that packet only, label only, the customer will be very assured that yes, your produce is organic produce. It has followed all the protocol for and standards put forth by NPOP, and you are not duping them with any kinds of some disguise. You are not just selling any XYZ product in the name of organic, and it promotes commerce. Commerce means simply that transactional things. So you will be getting, instead of 110 rupees per kg for apple, you will be getting some 250 rupees per kg. So these are the things. Then for organic producers, certificate identifies supplier of products approved for use in certified operation. So your certificate have all the details of suppliers, and there's coded protocols and standards for the organic operations. So if someone, suppose that if you it is scan that particular barcode, he can get all the information about the farmers, it can get the information about supplier, it can also get the information about what have been the protocol standards that were you were imposed for the following. Then for consumers, I will just give a simple example. Among all of us, some might be preferring milk tea without sugar. Some might be preferring black tea with sugar. Some might be preferring black tea without sugar. So there are kinds of these 4 or 5 kinds of segments are there. So for example, if that you went to some restaurant and they have brought tea, how you will know that the black tea is without sugar or that milk tea is without sugar? He has to tell you. That same is the thing with our product. When you paste a logo with some clarification there, then it assures the quality and you can get the product of your preference. So that certified organic serves as a product assurance. That simply and clearly tells that product is organic. It is simply like that. We get milk with low fat mention, we get wheat flour with 100% whole wheat like that, we get some juices, we get some jams along with mention no artificial preservative. If you had been seen that our cold drinks or anything with means interest, then ingredients, you can see it is clearly written sugar added or extra sugar added like that. So that means they are clearly mentioning whatever is sweetening of your product or cold drink, it is not by virtue of natural thing. Your sweetener has been already added. But if you see some kind of, for example, I take this Sikkim organic products, you will not find those lines that sugar has been added, because whatever is sweetening or whatever the taste in that product is, that is because of natural things only, whatever are included in your product. They have not added anything from outside. So this is the importance. Okay, then now you are acquainted with most of the things in our organic system, along with protocols, your planning, farming, your development of product and all these things. Then the question comes, are you eligible for certificate, or who is exactly eligible for the certificate? So organic certificate can be issued to a different or a wide range of segment in the society. So it usually comes for, it is a certification process for products of organic food and other organic agricultural products. Then the requirement varies country to country, and it generally involves a production set for growing, storage, processing, packaging, and shipping. Whatever is the standards, that's why we have discussed three kinds of standards: regional, then national, then international. So the second point what I'm discussing about, it varies from country to country. For example, if conversion period for a farm from conventional to organic requires 6 years in one country, it is not necessarily it will be 6 years in other country. It may be even 4 year or 5 year, it may be even 10 year. So that depends on the regulations of different countries. And organic certificate can be issued to different kinds of agencies or different kinds of sectors in our society. The one can be our retailers, that whoever is retailer for a particular product, if he is taking all his products from organically certified farmers, then he himself cannot sell that this product is organic. If you are a farmer, if you are supplying some product to a particular retailer, if you have logo and pasted in your packaging and all this thing, then okay, he can sell that product in your name only. But if he intend that he has taken, suppose that some 100 quintals of kiwi from you, you are an organic certified farmer and you have followed all the protocols, and if he wish to brand those product in his name or in any other means, in that case he will be requiring his own certificate, his own organic certificate. So organic certificate can be given to a retailer, it can be given to a food processor, it can be given even to a restaurant, it can be given to the farmers in individual or farmers producer society or FPOs or SHGs, and it can be given to our seed supplier and all these things. So it varies, it have a long range of beneficiary that who can get all these certificates. Now come to the process of certification. A certificate of organic certification is issued if the operation is determined to be compliant under the NPOP. This is the first and foremost thing for the issue of organic certificate. Whatever is your process, say from seed to product or from seed to your plate, whatever is there, that should strictly follow the NPOP guidelines or NPOP standard. Then only you are eligible to get an organic certificate. Then upon issue of organic certificate, you can sell your product as organic, and all your products should have a label that identify your eligibility. That means your this name, then your information about the producer, then your handling company, then your processing units and all these things. So that should be included in the logo. Sorry, not logo, label. Then what are the state process for that getting an organic certification? So it includes accreditation, standards, inspection, and final is the certification. Accreditation means if you wish to get a certificate for your product, organic certificate, it is not government of India or it is not a ministry that will come and inspect and do all this thing and it will issue a certificate to you. There are different kinds of agencies in India which are accredited by the government under NPOP guidelines to issue the organic certificates. That means they may be purely private agencies, they may be semi-government agencies, or in some cases it may be government agencies also. So those agencies will, accredited agencies will issue certificate to you and you have to apply to any of those agencies. The next is standard. So when we talk about standard in the organic system, it means minimum requirement. It doesn't mean that you have to follow the best practice. It means you have to follow the minimum requirements. You have to fulfill the minimum requirements which are required to get you a certificate. For example, I must say that if it is mentioned that you disinfection is there for gunny bags and all this, so it is not necessarily that every time you disinfect that gunny bags. But on the other hand, if you get clean and clear gunny bags, you need not to disinfect it every time, but in recommendation it is there. And second thing, you should use gunny bag, but you cannot go to that some PVC material for crates and all this. So this is the thing, minimum requirement you must follow and minimum requirement you should qualify. Then inspection. Once you submit application, once your documentation and everything is verified and gone through by that accrediting agency, and once they are sure about your following of standards and everything, they will simply send a inspector. He will come to you. He will have a view of your visit of your farm or processing unit, or if you are a hotel restaurant, then they will come to your hotel restaurant. They will have inspection and they will submit their report to that agency. And based on the recommendation, the agency will decide whether we should issue or accord the certificate or not. So this is the means simply you can say certification process in brief. Okay, then you know that what is the certification process and all this. You know very well where to apply, and you know what are the protocols and everything, and you know what is the next further step and all this thing. But what you exactly need to do to get the certificate. So in the coming slides we will be discussing about that. The certification process on the part of farmers or on the part of interested beneficiary. So first thing, to certify the desired location, the owner or farmer is typically required to engage in number of new activities. That means if you are interested to get a certificate, instead of conventional farming to your organic farming, then you will be going through many new things that you might not have practiced before. So the first thing is study the organic standards. You must be very thorough with the organic standards set by the NPOP for every segment, and you have to follow those, which cover the specific detail about it and is not allowed for every aspect of farming, including transport, storage, and sale. So you should be very thorough about the farming system in organics, then your storage, then transport, then sell. Sell means that you directly cannot go in the market and sell your product as organic just after 1 year or like that. So those things you should be very well aware about those. Then compliances. Whatever is your farm facilities and production method, those must comply with the standards, which may involve modifying facilities, sourcing, and changing supplier. For example, just that one key point is here, involve modifying facilities. So just say you are having some particular products. For example, you are having cardamom and you are taking water from some source. For example, you must say your farm is nearby a factory and you are taking running water from that canal, or you are taking running water from river for the washing of those things. But when you apply for organic, this will definitely come into the notice of inspector, and he will be having notice. Okay, just beside to your farm there is one pharma factory or pharmaceutical unit, and you are using the same water. So there are chances that water will be contaminated with the chemicals or this waste effluents of the factory. So the first and foremost thing he will tell you to use other source of water for cleaning of your products. So this is the thing. So those things are very normal but important things that you have to go through and you have to comply with. Then documentation. Documentation means if you directly go and submit an application, just 1 or 2 page application, that I want certificate and all this for my products in organic way, and I want to sell my product in the name of organic, then they will simply ask the history of your practices. history of your farm, then all these things. So you cannot just go with some handful of money to pay the fees and all these things. You should go to extensive homework. You should have complete all the paperwork, which include your farm history. Farm history means what are the some particular years. Particular years means that is defined. So for example, some last 6 years or last 10 years or last 8 years, what has been the crops grown in particular field and what have been the practices followed. Then what is your present setup. For example, I said about that water source for cleaning, and what are your soil and water test. That is the most important thing in documentation. So all these things you should be very well ready. You should prepare it, and then only you should proceed for that application. Then comes the planning. In planning, you have to describe everything right from seed to sale, how you will be generating seed, or how you have been generating seed, how you have been getting the seeds from your own farm or from other farm. If other farm, then whether it is that particular supplier is organic supplier or not, like that. Then your field and crop location. Your field, as I discussed, your field, whether it is near some industrial outlet or something like that, or near this some commercial setup or something, or it is in some different place like that. So location and all this you have to go. Then fertilization and pest control activity. Fertilization and all this means what is the process, that if you are going for a manual fertilization in particular crops, that for example, you say saffron. In saffron, that fertilization prefer that manually only. And then pest and disease control activities, whether you have been following organic system, that means biological, mechanical or physical, or you have included some chemicals and all these things, or additives. For example, if you have included chemicals, then for means last when you have included or recently you are included all those things. Then harvest. In harvest, what kinds of apparatus you are using and what kinds of activities you are following. Then storage location. Harvest also, I will just give an example. In some kinds of fruit, people used to spray some chemicals to faster ripening or to faster growth, so those can be eligible for means synergistic harvesting. So all those things you have to get in, and all those things you have to record in. Then your storage location and what kind of storage facility you have, if you are intended to store it for a long time, all those things. So along with documentation, you have to a very clear planning in written form. So all these things you should have ready, and then only you should proceed for the application. Then comes the inspection. As we discussed, once you reach that an accrediting agency, for organic certification, you submit your application, you put forth your documentation, they go through it, you propose your planning, you submit your planning. After all this verification and means observation of documents and verification, once they are sure, they will send an inspector. So that inspector will come to your farm. He will inspect all the facilities and all the process physically and verify it. And he will have some examination of other records if necessary. And in some cases, they can have some oral interview also. Oral interview just to ensure that if you are the same person who are getting certificate and all this thing for the same land or means piece of plot, or you are just duping the agency, or you are just in the disguise of some other person like that, to ensure that and ensure the quality of coming product, that inspector will come and have inspection. Then fee. That comes that they means agencies, they charge some particular fees for your certification as well as inspection as well as certification and all these things. That fees is depending upon particular agency. For example, for inspection, some agency may charge 5,000 rupees, and some agency may charge 1,500 rupees, some may charge 2,500 rupees, like that. So that depends upon what the agency you are going through. So it is up to you. It is up to your interest where you are going. Then next, that planning we already discussed. Then coming to record keeping. you have to keep the record of daily activities. If you are interested to have for that organic farming and get a certification, that include day-to-day farming practices, then marketing records, and it covers all the activities and must be available at the time of inspection at any time. Most of the cases, the agencies make some surprise inspections, so you should be very much ready for that. Most important thing in all this process, for the first time certification, your soil and your water test should be readily available with yourself, and it should meet the requirement of standards. If it is not coming in the range of recommendations or instructions or protocols of our NPOP, then definitely whatever is your product and facility, you will not get the certificates. So the certificate process in a single view. The first is registration. You have to complete your, you have to first register and you have to complete your production plant and submit your application to a certification body. Then verification, that particular agency, accredited agency, they will go through your application, go through your plan and ask for a fees. Once you pay the fees, they will send an inspector. Inspector will come to visit the soil site and submit his report to that agency. Then the agency will review all these things. He will review the recommendation of or a report of inspector, and then in the last, they will decide whether they have to give the certificate to you or they have not. They do not give the certificate to you. The most important thing, they may give with or without reason. If they are giving you certificate, if they are not giving the certificate, that means they are not forced to give the reason that why they are not giving the reason to you, why they are not giving certificate to you. If they are willing that you should improve your practices, or in coming future if you are interested to become eligible and this thing, then they can give some reasons why your certificate is declined. For example, your water test or your soil test or location of your site, if they does not meet requirement, then your certificate may be declined, and they can give this thing in reason that why your certificate is not accorded. So these has been the things. Now let's come to that market system, the certification for exported products. So there are three ways that directly you can approach to the Western certifier. The Western certifier means, for example, if you want to export your product to Europe, or you wish to export your product to Gulf countries or Americas, or you wish to send somewhere else, then you can contact to that agencies there. There are the cases that particular agencies in India, they are eligible or they have mutual agreement to certify or to have inspection for India as well as for the European Union or other countries. So they can, the Western countries, for example, if you want to send your produce to Europe, the European Union certifying body, when you reach them, they will send an inspector after completion of all the formalities. Then that inspector will come, he will have some inspection and he will submit you his report. Then co-certification. Co-certification means that Western certifier, he will identify one of his agent or one of his agency in India which is eligible for that same thing. He will assign that work to him. Then those agencies will send their inspector, they will come to your farm and then they will make it. Then the last thing is local certification. As I discussed, suppose that, for example, if one agency A is there, the agency A is accredited by NPOP for organic certification in India, and they have also got certificate from European accreditation from European Union for the issue of organic certification. So if you know about that, you directly go to that agency. They will then send their inspector. He will inspect your farm and all this thing. He will have all this thing, and then he will submit a report, and satisfying the things and the standards, you will get certificate from your local certifier. Local means national certifier, who is accredited with both national as well as international agencies. So this has been the thing of organic certification process, organic products, organic product processing and their quality standards, then process of organic certification, its significance and its use for you, and all these things. So once you complete all the things and you certify all the criteria, you can get someone this kind of a certificate for your produce. Here it is important to note that certificates are issued individually as well as in sharing basis as well as in group. Sharing basis means there may be 3 or 4 person, they can maybe co-applicant for a particular segment, product. Suppose that some 4 friends are there, they have started some organic farming, so they can be co-applicant. Or if one particular person want to enjoy the certificate, he himself can individually apply for the certification. Or if some 25 people are there and you have some farmer producing company, FPC or FPOs or SHGs like that, the SHG itself can apply for that certificate, and whatever is the product that can be sent sold in the name of organic with the logo of that SHG along with certificate and all these things. So those are the things. Then the previous certificate you have seen, that is issued individually, and here whatever certificate you are seeing, this is for a group basis. So these kinds of some certificate you will be getting based on your application, if it is individual or if it is in group. And here are some certification agencies in India as well as they are means eligible to certify for some European Union or other countries also. And a detailed list you can get that I had given the link below. So if you click in that link, you will get all the details and all the agencies available in India for certification of organic system or organic farming or organic produce. So this has been all about today's discussion, and now you are welcome if you have anything to ask. Hello, sir. That project, this discussion is completed. Now it is open, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can.
Okay, thank you, Ashutosh.
Sir, am I audible?
Nice present. Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
It's clear and loud. Just a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So, participants may ask question if they have any doubt or if they want any clarification for him, they can directly ask question to him. So that session is open for discussion. Participants, please ask your questions. It's already done. Already.
Yeah. Is there any question in the chat box?
Yes. Ashutosh, you can please check the chat box and you can answer to these questions. Some participants have written some questions in the chat box.
Okay. I will see it.
The first question is, what are the biological processes? So the biological processes to limit number and quantities of additives.
Okay, that just I will say biological process. Yesterday during that product development, we have seen that, for example, I will say that candy. We have discussed about the preparation of ginger candy. So in that, it was discussed that after cleaning and boiling, we have to put that ginger in alternate way, ginger cubes or ginger flakes in the alternate layers of sugar. So this is we can say practically it is just 2-step or 3-step process. But if then we are adding some vinegar, if we are adding some citric acid, and if we are adding some other permitted fragrance in later stages, then it will simply increase the steps or process. So that is the meaning here, that we should minimize that process and that we should minimize the steps of processing. One question came here, what are typical cost for organic certification for acre and what is economically feasible minimum area for certification in your experience? Okay, I will just say that particular cost you cannot be very sure about that. Why? Because if you take certification in Sikkim, it comes some 4,000 to 5,000 rupees like that. But if you take that similar certification in Mumbai or nearby Mumbai, especially in Pune area, and then Maharashtra and all this Karnataka, then it may vary, because there is it includes that inspection charge of certification agency. It includes their own fees and all other processes. So, for example, just I told you that some agency may charge 5,000 rupees for inspection. So, and other agency may charge for some 6,000 or 2,000 for inspection. So directly there is some 4,000 rupees difference in that. So that whatever is the standard cost and all this thing, that you can get from your certifying agency only, and that will be available in their website, that you can get either over phone call or just you send an email if you are well versed with the internet and all this thing. And of course, that cost for European Union, it is I can say at this stage where I'm interacting with especially our small scale farmers and students, it will be really very hefty amount for you, and it will be in terms of either euros or dollars, some 1,200 or 1,500, or sometime it is 2,000 euro like that. And that is the minimum thing I'm telling you.
Down again. Battery was down. Yes.
Well, Dr. Rajiv, one more question came here. Whether it is necessary we must have Indian standard certificate to get international certificate. Okay, just I told you that there are 3 kinds of standards: regional, national, and international. So of course, whatever you are going upside, it definitely it will be more stringent and all this thing. For example, you may have some leniency in your regional standard, but the thing will not be for national standard. It will be more strict. And when you go for that international standard, it will again more. But for some countries, just I say, if you wish to send your in Africa, they are little bit lenient. They are not that much stringent as like European Union. So wherever you are interested, if you are interested to send European Union, you have to get Indian certificate. You need not to get Indian certificate, because you are not selling your product in Indian market. But of course, for transport and export everything, you have to get some different certificate for organic exports. So that is the case there.
Okay, so participants, if you have any other questions, you can ask now. Or so I just want to add that if anybody has any question regarding yesterday's session, technical session, that was on post-harvest quality control and product development. So that lecture was delivered by our same research person, that is Ashutosh. So if you have any question regarding that presentation lecture, you can ask questions now also. So participants, please, you can ask questions.
Well, I would like to add that I am available in Hindi as well as English. So if anyone is comfortable in Hindi, they can ask in that language also. That is not an issue here.
Okay, so if there is no other questions, then I just want to ask one question, Ashutosh. So like
Yes.
seed certification. So inspector, they have the right to inspect wherever they want, whenever they want. So is there who plays that role in case of organic certification? Suppose if whether a product is organic or not, who will inspect? Like is it same like a seed inspector or any other authority have that right?
Okay, Rajiv, I will just add a little bit in that. So actually here are two things. One is seed certification and other is organic certification. So for example, just we say being a breeder, we are usually means producing nucleus seed or breeder seed. So in case of seed certification, seed inspector used to come and assure the quality of breeder seed along with it. Its standards and all these things, and give us some logo and all, like golden yellow and all these things. But when it comes to organic system, the person particularly coming from organic organic certification accrediting agencies, they will be coming. They will be not means very particular about what is your means quality or boldness and all these things about seed. They will be very particular about the processes in organic system. So instead of that seed inspector, it will be our organic agencies inspector. In some cases, they come along with that government agencies like that government appointed district horticulture officer or district agriculture officer like that. They used to come just to ensure some other things.
Okay. So, dear participant, do you have any questions? Okay. If not, really, Dr. Astos, it was really your lectures were really very informative, and the yesterday lecture was very nice, and you have presented nicely about this this post harvest quality control and product development from organic ginger, turmeric, black pepper, and large cardamom. I think it is more useful for the young entrepreneur who are want to produce and pack it in the domestic market as well as even international level. It was very informative, and even you have told more about this processing, like large cardamom processing and other. It was very informative. And also today's one organic, as I initially I was narrating, this quality assurance and certification of organic farming. More emphasis on this methodology. Many of them does not know. Even our students, they study only the curriculum, but you have given a insight of all the procedures. So I think it is very useful for the new entrepreneur who want to go for organic certification, because many of the product, it is so good, they will never use even for tea or even ginger or any kind of plantation and other spice crops. It brings more value if you certify your product in organic way. So it is very informative. Thank you for highlighting all the process, and it was very even they can start with the regional level. Many people, they were talking about, like a national level, they will aim for it, but let them begin with a regional level. There is a certification agency, as you said, and then national level. And if they go further, they can go for and if they go further, they can go for okay. There was oh. All right. So thank you so much, sir, for your informative lecture. Finally, I would like to request Dr. Senpon Numle to thank you and to formally to propose the vote of thanks for these two sessions.
Thank you, sir, for your kind invitation, and thank you to the Dean of CAU for giving me this chance to interact with farmers. Actually, I have been working for almost 4 years in this Northeast region. So I have almost explored Sikkim, Nagaland, Arunachal, Assam, except for Tripura and Mizoram. So I have been well acquainted, and it is really that means encouraging to see that Northeast is by default organic. So I think that if someone from Northeast, if they are willing to enter in the organic system, it will be really very easy for them, because they have to follow that minimum standard, because most of the standard they are already qualifying or following. So they just can go through it directly. And as you told, sir, that they can start at regional level, as like in Sikkim, they started as regional level for whole the state in through 2003. And now in 2020, the Sikkim is the only state in the world that is fully organic. So it has been really encouraging me to interact with all these participants. And I tried my best, whatever experience I gained working in Kerala, Karnataka, and the Northeast. So thank you so much, sir. And thank you, participant, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Senpon.
Okay. Good morning, sir. So thank you, Raja sir. I, on behalf of College of Horticulture and Forestry and all the organizing team of this webinar, would like to offer vote of thanks for your very valuable and wonderful presentation. Sir, the presentation on certification of organic farming is indeed the need of the hour, and in Northeast India, it will be very much helpful for the students who want to go for entrepreneurship in the form of organic farming. I would also like to offer my vote of thanks to the participants who have contributed their time and participated in this webinar. So with this few words, I could like to conclude my vote of thanks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. One more question has came from one participant. If you permit, I will just would like to answer it.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Here one question came from Miss Ansika from Jabalpur. She is asking, what if some North Indian people wanna do same thing? It is hard for them. So I will definitely say it is not really very hard for whether it is from North India or South India. Of course, that Northeast region has some edge over, because most of this place in Northeast is a tribal, and they follow particularly very natural things for for farming and all this. But it is not like that. If you are from South India or North India or any other part, then you cannot go for organic system. Many places in Kerala where that pesticide and fertilizer consumption is very high, they have converted their land in organic, and they have got the certificates. And if you have been very regular about that news, you might have seen one lady from Mandala region in Madhya Pradesh, in Burhanpur and Mandala. She has been cultivating that what you call our capsicum in a very organic system. First, people were just laughing at her that she is doing some weird thing and all this. But now almost 100 farmers are cultivating this capsicum, or what do you call Simla mirch in local language, the Simla mirch along with her. So it is not like that any person from particular region of our nation cannot do and all this. Of course, there are some difficulty, but it is, of course, you can overcome those all the difficulty, and definitely you can proceed with all. So thank you, sir, and thank you, participants. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you so much. And dear participant, please start your video. I want to have a record of that. Why don't you start your video? Yeah, start your video. Okay. Start your video. Okay, thank you so much. Today evening, I think afternoon session is the last session. We will send the quiz link on Monday. Okay, so we will issue the certificate after that within 3 days. Okay, so please bear with us. We will be sending the certificate after receiving your feedback and quiz link. That will be sent to you on Monday. Okay, so be ready at 2 p.m. for the last session, marketing of organic spice.